Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Oval Office. I'm Cayden. That's Grant. And Grant, you were a Talladega veteran this weekend. How did that go at the track?
It was pretty great. Honestly, timed it up pretty good. Missed all the pre-race pageantry that they do with it was technically a work thing, if you will. But I kind
Very
of
nice
skipped
work
out.
trip, though.
Yeah, I skipped out on all the pre-race whatnot that Ream does with the 20 car and that kind of whatnot. So I showed up 10 minutes to green flag drop. Was able to park right up by the track and just waltz right in there, like 10 minutes before it started. It was pretty fantastic. And then as soon as it was over, I was out of there. So that was a good thing about Hocevar winning. The last two races I've been to, super popular winners, makes it amazing for leaving.
Yeah, that, well, you think Reddick was a very popular winner at Atlanta?
I skipped Reddick in my head. I was thinking of Elliott
Okay.
last summer at Atlanta.
I was like, Elliott won last summer, and I remember that
That's
was
who I was
very
thinking of. I
popular,
I
but
cruised out of there.
I was like, I
Reddick
got out of
nuts.
there pretty
Everyone was
quickly.
too cold. Everyone was
Yeah.
too cold at Atlanta that time.
I got out of the actual like track at Atlanta really quickly, but traffic
No.
sucked.
Yeah, it
Uh,
took forever.
yeah,
No,
no.
every time you go to Atlanta, you should hope Chase Elliott wins if your driver doesn't win because it will be so easy to leave.
Yes, it is. It's so easy because everyone is staking around and trying to get autographs and pictures and everything else.
Yes, it's great.
So okay.
But yeah, I do have a fun little story for you. Just I was driving out in almost standstill traffic, shirtless frat dude, bush light in his hand, and his girlfriend. Just they kind of walk by, wave. I just kind of nod, wave back, not really paying much attention. My back door opens to my truck, and the guy goes, "Can you give us a ride to my truck?" I was like, in my head, I'm like, this dude should not be driving. But I was like, well, considering you're already in here,
Yeah.
why not? Right. So I was like, I'm just going to head out. And his whole time, his girlfriend, I'm so sorry, sir. Like, thank you so much. Like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. And I was like, yeah, cool. I'm just going to drive out of here and I'm going to follow the flow of traffic, trying to get on the road. Y'all just jump out wherever. And they go, oh, our truck is that way, like back
Whoa.
towards the track. And I go,
You should go and get out then.
I would just get out. And he's, are you kidding me? And I was like, no. And she's like, thank you so much for trying. I'm so sorry. You gotta be kidding me! Like lumbers out of the truck and shuts the
Okay,
door.
that
I
was a
like,
very good. That was a very nicely timed internet malfunction because it as you went to you got to be it went like that, and so trying to run two of these feeds at once is killing my internet. I can already tell.
But yeah, basically that I thought it was just random, nothing crazy. I didn't really see much of that. I was probably aside from like team people. I mean, I was polo dress pants tucked in, probably way overdressed for Dega, but it was a good time.
It is. So we've both been to Dega a number of times. I mean, we went to college in the Birmingham area, so I mean that's kind of just what you do.
It's a
Is go to
staple.
Talladega, but I don't know.
But
It's
there's a difference though when
difference
you go
in
to college.
Talladega and
I'm saying my priorities haven't changed. I was there for the racing. Let's just say most of the
yeah.
people aren't there for the racing.
And it's probably a good thing they were not because
Yeah.
let's
When
be honest.
90% of the group you went with doesn't show up on Sunday for the race, that's about right.
Yeah. So this race was not all that interesting. There were some interesting elements of this race, but as far as when I think of Talladega, this was probably the worst Talladega race I've seen in my entire lifetime. It was not good. I think that actually the most interesting part was the stage one with all the fuel saving because you had all these different strategies kind of start to play out. Toyota completely just screwed their one or two stop strategy up. But see, that's interesting. That's entertainment. And Ford, because Ford, I mean, is just Ford, they managed to last all the way to the end on the one stop strategy. Ryan Preece gets a stage win. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got the NASA door rail, so beautiful. I thought the first 100 laps of this thing were probably like they were decent. And I was just like, okay, if this is how it's going, then I'm excited to see when they go flat out. And then I remembered that these cars cannot go flat out at a super speedway because they can't actually make a third line, or it is very difficult for them to make a third line. And when they do make a third or fourth line, they tend to wreck after about 2 laps. And we saw probably the biggest caution. I think they said 26 cars involved.
That's what I heard.
I think there's more. I think we're going to come back and they're going to be like, yeah, we actually had a
You
count.
couldn't
It's
see
more
it;
like,
all just devolved into smoke, and it was gone.
even on TV, you couldn't see. You
Oh, I couldn't see crap because I was in the start of turn 1, and that was
the
2
exact
miles away
opposite
from me.
side of the track,
Yeah, I couldn't see anything.
but you can't. You just couldn't tell. And then there were so many cars that like tried to get back on. Ty Gibbs tried to get back on somehow. I don't even know how his crew got him back out there in
No,
the time it
he
took.
hit the wall so hard.
Hard though, and I just
We were next to the 54 suite. Dude, they didn't know what was going on. I don't think any of them had a clue.
say just something broke the rest
They
of
were
the
all
way
just
in
like,
that
no,
car.
they just were looking around. They had no idea he wrecked. They were just, oh, they didn't care.
It's something about that says something about modern sports actually, about who we
Yeah,
cater to.
well, yeah, I say that though, but you got to think like the people that were with me were like we invited customers and stuff like that, and a lot of them were there just to hang out. There was
Yeah.
probably 40 people in there. I'd say 8 of us were like dialed in.
So I don't know how. Like, I get how the 4 cars out in front escaped, but then it was like I feel like every single other car in the field had some sort of damage.
Unless you're in the very back.
And even then, like Michael McDowell slammed on the brakes. I thought he made it through clean. He didn't actually make it through clean.
The
And then he
one that
got
I saw make it through clean was Chase Elliott.
yeah, and then
He was in the dead back, and somehow he got through.
I forget who it was. It might have been Austin Cindric that the broadcast coming out of red flag coverage goes, and watch out, Austin Cindric. This is our like move of the race brought to you by what is a non NASCAR sponsor, Captain Morgan or something like that. Because that's basically what was going on the backstretch there. And it's like, look at how Austin Cindric beautifully navigates this, and he just rams through like 4 cars and then gets turned himself, catches it, and then keeps going. And they're like,
That's awesome.
yeah, that's beautiful. He didn't have any damage. And I'm thinking to myself, they show him, and he's got like noticeable dents in the next gen car.
You're like, I don't know if that's exactly what we would call the move of the race.
I wouldn't say it was an evasion.
We'll run with it.
It
Yeah,
was
we'll roll with it.
the biggest
Maybe
winners
a
of that.
bulldozer.
I was going to say like the 60, the 1, the 17, and the 20. Like getting out in front of all that, that was just like, okay, y'all should have a major advantage. And then none of them won.
I didn't even see. I never went back and watched where Hocevar was in that. Because I don't think he had any damage.
Mid-20s around that time.
He must have been on the bottom because there was no damage on his car.
No. The problem is you can't see. As soon as... Because Bubba... That's actually something to talk about, safety features. As much as we mocked the next gen for how easily it flipped in the early
Yeah,
going,
I thought that car was going to take off on the replay.
I was going to say, those back tires were off the ground, and he stayed on the track. For better or for worse, because he he went for a wild ride anyways. But
yeah,
they showed his in-car cam, and those were some of the toughest hits I've seen in a modern driver take. Him and Joey Logano both. Just that first initial impact, he wasn't ready for it because it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
It was just, and then
I didn't see the in-car cam. Just
like
turned
that.
into
He
a
was just,
little fish.
Yeah, it was bad.
Ugh.
And as soon as he thought it was over, he got turned again and hit again. It was a very long wreck. It was the wreck from Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
But
that was a big wreck, I have to admit. It took a while. We were sitting there, and I was like, all right, I guess it's time to go get some food. We're going to be here for a minute.
Yeah, it was... And that's kind of what these Talladega races have turned into. Of these cars are so close together because they can't draft properly. They can't make a third lane or anything like that. And when they do, they're so unstable that they turn. And this is what the third or fourth huge super speedway wreck in the next gen era, where it's bigger than they used to be. It's like whenever they wreck at one of these things, they do wad up the entire field.
Yeah, it's
It's not
everybody.
it's not like, oh, it's a 9, 10 car wreck. It's a big pile up and they're all out of the race. It's no, everybody but the leader crashed. And we will see who can keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that that is something. And let's wait a minute to talk about the style of racing. Because I think we're both going to have different opinions on this from the limited bit we've talked about it. Let's talk about the winner. Carson Hocevar wins his first NASCAR race. He was a dark horse for me. So
Cup
granted, he's
Series
been a dark
race.
horse like half of my races. So blind squirrel. And I thought he learned.
Oh, you did pick him, didn't you?
Yeah, because remember I picked Reddick as my main, but then I had Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar.
That's right. I forgot about that. Well
Um,
done.
So I was very happy. I thought for a minute I was like, towards stage 2, I was like, the 1 week I pick a 2311 driver that's not Bubba, he's going to win this race.
Yeah.
And then he went.
I picked Bubba because I really did think he was going to win it.
But Hocevar, he kind of just played around in the back for a little bit. He went on actually a lap down the backstretch where he was in 40th, hit 200 miles an hour, and emerged 21st or 22nd. And he just was passing through gaps that did not exist. But once he got up to that like 20th place barrier, there was just nowhere to go. So he drops back. He's saving fuel and manages to get a good pit stop right before stage 3 begins. And he cycles to the lead and he keeps it. In stage 3, for whatever reason.
No, he didn't cycle to the lead. He cycled right behind Busher.
Well, to the lead
and
the outside.
Decided to push him for 2 turns.
Yeah. He cycled to the front.
There we go. Yeah. Trust me. I was sitting there and I was like, there's literally no one I want less on my back bumper than this guy.
Say it's a man who is hungry for a win.
I'm just like, there is no telling. He's probably going to wreck us. And sure enough, there was about 7 or 8 hosts of our fans watching it with me, and I was like, I don't want you guys behind me.
It's mostly a thing of I don't want the guy who wants it more than my guy.
I don't want the guy I don't trust.
Well, you mentioned before Carson Hocevar sent Eric Jones to the Shadow Realm, which one of the objectively most funny wrecks of all time.
Yeah, he just shot him down the track. Also, great looking Doritos car.
Fantastic looking Doritos car. And all of the good looking like dark mode schemes were kind of near the front in this race. Like Chastain's one jockey scheme was really good looking. Eric Jones's Doritos scheme, Busher was rocking that Jack Link's scheme that was dark.
Yeah, that might be my first diecast. That thing was sick.
And then like Hocevar, the Intimidante car, really good looking car.
Yeah.
And watching on Fox, which they were bad this weekend, you won't be able to really comment on that, but he is leading, and then just gets squirrely and gets no one else except for Eric Jones, who gets just absolutely
shot
into the infield. And they didn't call a caution or at least
until he got stuck.
Yeah, they waited about a half a lap before they threw the yellow.
Well, I thought he was going to make it to pit road.
I mean,
well, he did. He did make it to pit road. He made technically it to the pit road infield.
Yeah, I mean, he was in there with SVG's dog's manure.
Yeah, that was a bad feeling when that happened.
Because at that point, it was like, okay, I think Busher might have this thing. And then
I was
as
like,
soon
we
as they
have
went to a
one ally,
restart, it's
and it's the
like,
only non-bow tie in the top 8, and
and
it's
then
Eric
as
Jones.
soon
And then I watched him go
as,
careening into a wall. I was like, oh,
yeah,
great.
it was a precision strike too.
Yeah.
Like that is the difference in between Hocevar winning and not winning. Because we've seen this song and dance where he's up front at the end 7, 8, 9 times now, and every single time something stupid happens. And I thought that was about to be something stupid. He's going to kill Eric Jones, and then he's going to send himself careening into the wall and take out the other half of the field that didn't get
Yeah.
involved. And then Chris Buescher's going to win. Cool, love it, fantastic.
There was
But
one other moment, too, that I thought Hocevar completely screwed himself. And Eric Jones completely bailed him out, I think is who it was. He got shoved. He was in the middle lane, and he got shoved to the top. There was nobody up
yes,
there. And then Eric Jones just moves to the bottom.
just let him back in.
He
Yeah,
just let him back in. I was like, I would not have done that.
I would
Especially
have,
of
but
all people, that guy, I'm sending him to the back.
just
Like
yeah.
that blew my mind. When that happened, I was like a little bit like I like Hocevar, but I was excited because I don't like seeing Hocevar in my mirror when Buscher's up front.
So when
Because
it's
I'm like,
my
there's
guy,
because he, yeah.
get away
I'm
from
like,
him.
I don't want you. Yeah, get away. Well, that's I said it a few weeks ago. I was listening to the radio at Atlanta, and they're like, but he'd be like, all right, half, quarter, he's on your bumper. Okay, he's low, he's high. Get away from this guy. That was Buscher's spotter about the 77.
So
So that's how I feel as well when he's around me.
something I wanted to bring up. I watched. I don't know if you've watched Out of the Groove yet, Eric Estep,
No.
but he brought it up that Carson Hocevar probably is the best opportunity NASCAR has at actually developing a superstar that transcends motor racing.
Hmm.
And because of his personality, he's willing to go out there and do things. He puts himself out on the line. He streams video games. He is what he is, for better or worse. And I think, one, that is true. But NASCAR really needs to, for lack of a better term, promote the hell out of this win. Just not even the race itself. Just show him crossing the finish line, show him, navigating through the big wreck, all that. But then
Mm-hmm.
show the celebration. He ghost rode the whip. That's never happened before for a NASCAR. That is so cool. And that's gonna and every little bit of that clip that's escaped the NASCAR bubble, people are reacting very positive to it. Like it is a very imperative thing I think that NASCAR needs right now to realize what they have in Carson Hocevar and just go full force. And maybe that is you do promote him of like, we need this guy to be the most popular driver in the sport. He is
Yeah.
that. He's not Dale Earnhardt. All the different comparisons to Dale Earnhardt, he's not Dale Earnhardt, but he is exciting, and that's something that is lacking in this sport in terms of personalities. I mean, we had Ross Chastain. He's a very genuine guy, but a lot of those edges got cut off because Rick Hendrick decided he didn't like that. And something that is very, at least encouraging, is that Spire has supported Carson Hocevar to be Carson Hocevar. And he's had multiple controversies. He's raced people the wrong way and all that. And through thick and thin, they're like, that's my guy. I don't care. He's fast. He's going to win a lot. And I support him. So, am I getting a wrong read on that? Like, is everyone overreacting to the Hocevar win and like how popular he could be? Or what? It's not even like really a question there. I'm just kind of talking and spitballing.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the only other option we have, I think, is Bubba.
And Bubba, I mean, is realistically,
He
he's
just
halfway
had, if
through his
he was
racing
winning
career
like
anyway.
Reddick's winning, I could see it, but he's not, or even winning in general.
Well,
You know,
Reddick's very likable. I think that was a
yeah, he
big
just doesn't.
PR.
I don't know. He just doesn't quite have the
He doesn't have the it
juice.
factor.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the juice.
And I think the biggest
And it helps when Carson Hocevar is probably the only driver tall enough to ghost ride that car.
that's true.
So that did make it cool because there ain't no way Larson is reaching the pedals. He's got to have a
Kyle
booster
Busch
seat.
might have been able to in his younger years.
Maybe about 30 pounds and 8 years ago.
Yeah, but
But no, actually, it's funny you say that. McKenna today was like, "Yeah, I've seen like 5 Carson Hocevar videos on my TikTok, like out of nowhere." She's
yeah,
like, "She's like, he won, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, he's like popping up everywhere."
he is
I was like, "Good, that's good."
genuinely. I don't know. Like, I get that ESPN's not a television partner, but they talked about the lawsuit. They talked about it. I know it's not a 2311 guy, but if you have to go through Michael Jordan and be like, look, a a high tide raises all boats. I understand this is not your guy. If we could get Carson Hocevar to pull up to first take tomorrow and take Stephen A. Smith on a screaming ride along, how good would that be? Because he actually has a personality. It's not like, oh, this is harder than you thought.
I think we
Like,
should just collectively ignore Stephen A. Smith, but that's my personal
I mean,
opinion.
that's a true thing. But I mean, just he has the personality to actually be likable and people to know who he is beyond, oh, that's a guy who drives a race car, right? Of
Yeah,
like, oh, he has this interest, this interest, this interest. He's very vocal about different things. So I don't know. Maybe I am looking a little bit too much into it. Something I am looking forward to though is this crop of young drivers. The outside of Connor Zilic, who's kind of gonna just have a tough year. It is what it is at this point. Corey Heim should be in the Cup Series next year.
the goat.
Ty Gibbs and Carson Hocevar all have some form of beef with each other that goes back a while. And they should be winning a lot of races. So if there's a trio or anything to invest in to be like show off your personality, show off what you're about, and then you get a genuine rivalry where they're all winning races, that would be fantastic for the sport. And I think NASCAR really needs to do a good job because this opportunity of a natural, like guys who genuinely don't seem to like each other very much, and they're going to be very good for a long time. They're all very young drivers, and they're all kind of naturally charismatic in one way or another. They're either you love to love them or you love to hate them. I think you absolutely need to start pushing this narrative now of these three guys in Zilic. This is the future. Two of them have already won a cup race. I think Zilic is going to win a race before the season's out, just because I think he's going to get. I mean, Watkins Glen is next week, or Texas, then Watkins Glen. He's probably going to win Watkins Glen. He's better at than SVG there. So if Trackhouse
You know
says,
who
"Go
else is
speed it
better than
all,"
SVG there?
yes, I'm aware fully, but that would be so good for the sport. And in a time where a lot of things are negative, we're talking about how bad the car is at one of the historically best tracks. I think there is a win for NASCAR here. And that's really developed over the past month or so. Ty Gibbs picking it up, and then Carson Hocevar winning yesterday.
Yeah,
And the natural rivalry that you can get between them, Corey Heim, Connor Zilic, for, if you're lucky, 15 years. And they're trying, I mean, they're just in a dogfight for the championship every year.
that would be cinema.
So,
Got to get Corey Haim in the Cup Series,
Corey Heim, 2311. Have fun.
please. I'd be all about that. Marietta, Georgia, born and raised.
So, I'm going to do, or, well, actually, I'll do it afterwards because I've talked a lot. But, so Grant, what did you genuinely think about the racing this weekend? I know we had a brief text about it and we disagreed. But what is your opinion about what Talladega, the racing is like?
In person, it's freaking awesome. That's all I'll say. Um, I enjoyed this. The first stage was great. I had no idea what was happening. I was trying to figure out who was leading. Had no
No
idea.
one, no one. Fox did a
I
terrible job, so you
I couldn't
had to
figure it
surprise
out in
good.
there with the TVs and then them driving in front of me. I was like, I don't know what's going on in here, but I'm wildly intrigued to figure out how this shakes out. And then I would highly advise if you're going to watch Dega with the 2x2, uh, make sure your driver is on the front row because I don't think I stopped sweating or my heart rate got below the 80s when the stage two flag dropped. I
Yeah,
mean, I was wired the whole time. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was having a great time. I was dialed in. If Busher was not up front, probably would have been a different story, but he wasn't. So I'm not even going to play that game or pretend because I had a great time.
what do you think about NASCAR manipulating the stages the way they did? Do you think that this is something they should do for Daytona?
Manipulating is a I would say it's a stretch. They didn't really. They just kind of flip flopped it and threw it against the wall and said, "Let's see what happens."
True.
I mean, all they did was just. I heard who was it that said it? Someone just said they rearranged the chairs on the Titanic. Is all they did.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, which is
Do you,
fine. I was like, I thought it was cool because it gave. We know how it would have shaken out if they would have left the stage normally. They would have fuel saved 3x3 probably all the way back in stage 3, and then it would have just been the same old, same old. At least we got some difference.
I
And like
almost,
people were like, I was like actually having to like use my brain to figure out what the heck was going on.
I do like the long stage. I almost wish that they did it in reverse. Stage one, 40 laps. Stage two, 40 laps. 100 to the finish, because that's longer. And then you have these varying strategies where you can push the pace, and you're just being like, well, we're going to try to lap them and we're going to take two pit stops versus taking one, and then
What
eventually
if you just did? What if you just did 2 90 lap stages? Crap.
because then you could easily one stop it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, but also, I mean, you would eliminate those points. They have to go somewhere. I think the solution here is to just get rid of the
Double the
stage
points.
cautions. I think that that's a lever that NASCAR has shown in the past that they will pull mid-season. Because think back to, I forget, was that 2023, 2022, where at the road courses they did not have yellows until they had a Watkins Glen race go by in about an hour 20. And then we'll take the stage yellows back for the chase, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
And then they just put them back. So it's something they can do. I
yeah.
don't want them to mess with Atlanta in any way, shape, or form. But Daytona is the last race or the second to last race before the chase begins. That is when you better have this figured out because you can't do anything stupid for Talladega, too. Because that race, by NASCAR's own admission, matters more than all but the other 9 chase races. So you better have this figured out by then. You don't need to do something different at Daytona and then be like, that didn't work. Let's try something different again. So you either need to stick with this formula, go back to what we were doing before, or try something at Daytona, and if it works, go with it. If not, go back to what we were doing before.
Yeah.
If you debut some weird gimmick like this, because that's what it is at the end of the day, it's a gimmick, you can't debut it in the chase.
Yeah.
At least I don't think that you should.
They might though.
It is NASCAR.
But overall, yeah, just tell your driver to be up front. Makes it way more interesting.
Yeah. Um, in terms of actually, I want to look at the points because I think a lot of people are going to be talking about the car. They've already committed to making some changes to the next gen next year for super speedways. They're testing at Daytona quite a bit in the offseason, and they've kind of teased that there's going to be some like speed week testing at Daytona next year. So I'm very excited. I think they're going to fix the issue, but right now it's putting a band-aid on a bullet hole. So
And that
don't
is why I was a little bit mad last night.
just everyone complaining about it for no reason.
Yes,
Well, there is a reason,
incessantly. Yes,
but
there's a reason. It's just Maybe it's just like because maybe I'm just mentally aging like way too fast. But it just all I was trying to listen to some post race stuff on the way home, just live on YouTube or whatever. And I left there a little bit disappointed, obviously, because I
Your guy
thought
didn't
Busher
win.
had a
Your guy
chance. Yeah,
led.
he had a chance to win, and I was a little bit disappointed. But overall, I left. I was like, man, that was exciting. And then the whole way home, it's just this sucks. This is the worst. This sucks. This is the and I was just like, it's the same thing every time. Just like they know that there is a problem. I feel like all that you're doing now is like maybe someone for the first time went to Talladega today and was like, man, that was pretty cool. And then they turn on, they're like, I want to listen to somebody, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll just figure out somebody that's talking about it. Maybe they're doing like a post, whatever. They look it up on YouTube and you get on there and people are just moaning and griping and complaining. And it's just like, dude, you just sound miserable and spoiled.
Yeah.
If you hate it so much, don't freaking watch it.
Go watch Formula One.
It's a free country. You can go outside and enjoy the sun. It was a beautiful day. If you're going to sit there and complain constantly about the same thing we've been complaining about for years, that we know that they can't just fix it tomorrow. That's just not how it works. It's just not going to happen. They're going to fix it in the time that they can fix it. And I oddly trust Steve O'Donnell to do that, weirdly. But I've had it. It's so annoying. I'm just like, get over yourselves. No one, unfortunately, like no one cares.
I think
either just be positive and just like enjoy a little bit of racing. Like fuel saving racing is better than no racing.
That's true.
So just don't watch it if you're just going to sit there and complain about it.
I think.
Thank you for attending my soapbox.
Thank you for your attention on this matter.
Yeah, thank you for your attention on this matter. President Trump out.
But something that I think you're missing a little bit of. You did not watch this TV broadcast.
I know the broadcast sucked, and also again
was bad.
They ain't going anywhere. Mute it.
It's not even a mute thing.
Buy Sirius XM.
Yeah, I mean you can go and do that, I guess, but it's
or like I said, if you live in the Southeast and you're complaining, you're not going in person, that's your fault. And if it's expensive to go to the race, I'll just watch it on TV. You're paying $90 a month for whatever DirecTV, YouTube TV. You better realign those priorities, Bubba. You got bigger fish to fry. Or it sounds like you got no fish to fry, but I'm just saying.
So it was bad enough that people were legitimately like higher up in the space of like, there's got to be something in this contract of like conduct detrimental to the sport, of they're not doing their job of promoting the sport. And we are year 2 of this TV deal. And Fox has gotten worse. I think the solution is pretty simple. I think you need a brand new booth. And I think you could immediately go poach the CW's booth. Or just hire them for Sundays. Just be like, you're pulling double duty. You're at the track anyways. So you go here, come on Sundays. And do it. I get not wanting to let Mike Joy go. He's been there forever. But Clint Boyer doesn't have it. And Kevin Harvick for sure doesn't have it. I like Kevin Harvick being around the garage. That's cool. Kevin Harvick I would love if he got into owning a team. But
he should do what like Larry McReynolds does when he talks about like the science of like that kind of stuff. Like, because he understands, he just knows wheel.
But it's clear they don't like know the ins and outs of this car. So like it's very jarring when Larry McReynolds even comes on. It's a personnel issue, but then beyond that, it's a lot of what was already negotiated into the deal in terms of ads and all that. That's not something that you can really help without going fully streaming. But the production of Fox, and as someone who has worked in this world for, several years now and knows how to produce a live sports product, They do a very bad job of it, and it seems like they don't really want to get much better.
You know what happened if I did a bad job at my job and I didn't get much better?
You'd get fired.
Just saying.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine. I don't pay their bills. I didn't
So
see this race. I didn't watch this race on Fox, so I can't speak to this.
it was Denny Hamlin was freaking out over the radio, and Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick are like, "What he's freaking out about? Shouldn't he be on the lead lap?" No, there's no wave around. There's no free pass. Well, is it actually no? He's complained about the wave around. No, he's complained about the free pass. They never explained why there wasn't a wave around or free pass. By the way, they just
Didn't
are
Todd
like,
Gilliland get like a random free wave around too?
yes, well, maybe. I can't remember because they never explained it. Like
I think
that,
I think they accidentally waved him around and he wasn't supposed to go. But I
but
didn't know. I didn't see that either live, so I don't know.
they later were like, well, Chris Bale stayed on track, so they couldn't wave around. Well, thank you for that, but why wasn't there a free pass? It's as simple as throwing in, well, every single one of the free pass eligible drivers was involved in the wreck. Therefore, they're not eligible for the free pass. Cool. I assume that's what happened, but I mean, I watch more NASCAR than what, 98, 99% of the population? Same as
Yeah.
you? If a casual fan is tuning in because it's Talladega and they watched the movie, they're not going to know what in the world's going on watching Fox. And it is a solution that gets better. I mean, we only have, I think, 3 or 4 more races with Fox this year.
Yeah.
We're through a majority of the season. But them owning a third of the year with how, and especially the opening third of the year, is really, really bad for the sport in general. And even if it's NASCAR sitting down and being like, look, we want to keep the contract with you. Fox is one of the big 4 networks, but you've got to do something about your talent team. And it feels like NASCAR should have the power to do that because NASCAR, in their contract with their TV partners, maintains the right to their advertising. They basically produce most of the advertising. That's why Fox's IndyCar commercials look so different than what they do for NASCAR. So you think there's got to be some sort of clause of you're not presenting our product in an appropriate way.
Yeah. You're the production guy and I'm not a lawyer, so I have no idea.
So we both got up on our soapbox for a minute there.
Yeah. I just get so annoyed. I just get so annoyed by just hearing the same thing, incessant droning in my ear constantly.
If you want to be a little bit angry, let's just see. Chris Buescher, I'm pretty sure would have been. Let's see, he is 30 points back. I'm pretty sure he would have been in 5th position in the points if he had managed to win that race.
Bummer. What is he, 7th?
7th. So that means your top 8, ladies and gentlemen, which is basically the only drivers that can win a championship if the chase were to start today. Tyler Reddick, he is 110 points ahead of Denny Hamlin, despite finishing several laps down. Top finishing Toyota, by the way.
No, he did not finish several laps down. He finished 14th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, he came back. I forgot the cautions helped him.
He is the greatest repair crew in history.
He is so good. My goodness.
I don't know how they made that car run. Yeah, he finished 14th. He was the
top
highest.
Toyota.
He was the top Toyota. He was.
And we expected Toyota to kind of come in and dominate this race, and they did not. They were really bad in the draft.
They were really bad outside the draft as well.
So, yeah, nothing went right for them. And just... Okay, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, he finished, let's see. 15th. I know he finished down a ways. I think he did finish on the lead lap, 15th. So he maintains just enough they avoid disaster. Ryan Blaney, he got caught up in that big wreck. Chase Elliott managed to get through. He gains 2 positions, so he's up to 4th. And that's actually your hottest Denny Hamlin has a 30-point lead on 3rd, but then Ryan Blaney to Chase Elliott is 4 points for
Yeah.
that third position. And that will be a really big battle down the stretch. Ty Gibbs drops a lot of positions because he has his DNF. Kyle Larson DNF, so he's down to 6 now.
Yeah, he finished last.
Yeah, dead last. So no points on the day. And let's see. And then you go to Chris Buescher, Carson Hocevar, both gained 4 positions each. Christopher Bell is 9th. Brad Keselowski dropped a spot because he finished, I think, 22 laps down. Just
Yeah, he
a
got caught
really
up big time in
unfortunate
that wreck.
situation for him.
He was
had
running well.
speed and just William Byron, big loser. He lost 4 positions.
I feel like I haven't seen much of him all year.
Bubba Wallace, now in the 12th spot, he lost 4 positions as he got spun from the lead. Not really anybody's fault there. You can blame it on Ross Chastain. You can blame it on Bubba. I think
I'll
it was
blame
a
it on
racing.
the bumps of the backstretch.
As I'll say, they got stacked up and just nowhere to go. Bubba loses 4 positions. Very, very unfortunate considering this is one of his best tracks. Ryan Preece stays steady at 13th. Daniel Suarez, 14th. He's up 2 spots. Jumps the 22 of Joey Logano. And Austin Cindric is the final car in the chase. And he has a 4-point lead over Chase Briscoe and a 19-point lead over Ross Chastain. So the Penske cars really missed an opportunity this weekend where they're supposed to be pretty good. And now the 22 and the 2 are right there on the cut line.
I'm shocked the 22 is actually better than the 2 in the points. Does not feel like he should. I feel like the 2's been better consistently all year.
The 22 set higher highs, though.
Yeah. Just shocking. I feel like I've just seen shocking to say I've seen Cindric around a little bit more often, but
I mean, that's just that.
I think Preece had the most stage points out of anybody.
He won stage 1. I know he.
I think him and Buescher tied for most stage points.
If we look at, because Buescher picked up 8 in stage 2. Preece picked up 5 in stage 2. So 18 and then 15 for Buescher. So Preece picked up 18 stage.
He had 18. He had more.
Points. No, it's 15 and 15. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. I was about to say I thought they tied, but
so most stage points for the 2 RFK cars there. Not much else to talk about. I kind of want to save the Steve O'Donnell getting promoted and Jim France getting relegated to just the board for next episode, where it's a more newsy based episode before we look to Phoenix or not Phoenix, Texas. But is there anything else you want to bring up?
Trying to think about anything that I saw that was. No, not really. Just
mixing a water.
If you're do what? Mixing a water? Yeah. If you're gonna complain about the same thing you complained about the last 10 times, have you considered shutting up?
I think it's good to bring it to NASCAR's attention.
Yeah, I think we have.
But I think they know. So it just becomes
it's just me being ornery and mentally 72.
I was going to say, it's just old man yells at cloud.
Yeah. Shut up.
You were fired up last night. I expected
I was so annoyed. I was looking, my YouTube algorithm was just, this race sucked,
negativity.
this race sucked, this race sucked. And I was just like.
Let me look real quick just to make sure.
Maybe it did suck, but you know what? We could have had an off weekend.
I mean, you were driving at this point, and it is a long paragraph in the group chat.
I was driving.
Were you driving? I assume you were.
Which one are you referring to?
Okay, it was 11:22, so you probably were home.
Oh, I got home before 10 Eastern.
Okay.
I cruised out of there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was way home. Yeah, when I said you can go watch the World Series in poker or whatever else is wrong,
Yeah,
like we're
you were
complaining
just
about
you
the same
were
thing.
honestly tired of seeing people complain about super speedway racing. It's tiresome and old and is more annoying than the actual issue. Just don't watch. I'd rather have less viewers if it meant less complainers.
I forgot. That's what I said.
Nothing anyone says is going to change anything, and nothing is going to change my mind. And I just said, "Oh, this will be good tomorrow." And then you sent another one about long.
I think
I'm way,
I definitely name dropped a few NASCAR. Oh my gosh, I did send more.
I'm way more annoyed by the boomer sounding complainers than actual racing. Also, if you hate Fox and you live in the Southeast, you have no excuse. Go in person. Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
In all caps.
I just see that idiot, we're not gonna name names, on YouTube, and all he does is
Dude, it drives me nuts. It's just seeing him, he's just like, oh, it was the worst thing ever. I'm just like, dude, hang it up, brother. Hang it up.
you just got 1,000 or just in 1,000 word paper. There you go.
That was MLA formatted too. I'll have you know.
Say more of a Chicago man myself, but
Ugh.
all
I was.
right.
I forgot I sent all that. You know
You
what?
went.
I meant it too. I still mean it. Thank you for your
I
attention to
didn't
this
even
matter.
engage. I just know you well enough. I'm like, I'm not gonna get to him tonight. Let's address this tomorrow. Um, but you cooled off a
I
bit.
still feel the exact same way.
Yeah, but you're not yelling it, so
No,
that's a good sign.
no, it's just because it was like I was I was literally like looking at the YouTube algorithm, being like,
It was just everything.
it's
Yeah,
everything, and I was like, I mean, you'd think an ounce of positivity was literally would kill somebody.
it might
Well, I'm still kicking for now.
for now. I mean, you went to Talladega, Alabama. You might have been exposed to.
I
Who
was
knows?
easily the tamest person in that entire state, in that entire track. Had to have been. Do you know what I did? I walked in the suite. You know what I did? I may have been the first person in Talladega history to ever do this. I turned and grabbed an apple and ate it. I said, that looks delicious. I'm going to eat that. And it was an apple. And then I had 2 Dasani waters.
Sometimes an apple just you need it. It hits.
I was just like, I just walked like 3/4 of a mile in, you know, golf shirt, tucked in, pants, like almost black, dark gray pants
It's
in the
warm.
sun. It's warm. That apple was good. It was a good apple. So
So
maybe a Talladega first experience there for somebody. When you walk
an
in,
apple a
just
day
have an
keeps
apple.
the negativity away.
That's what they tell me. Maybe that's the stem of my raging positivity.
It really was. It was.
It's not even raging
It was
positivity. It's
interesting
just
to see.
raging annoyance.
It was a full on. I don't even. Nothing sparked it either. It was no one said
No, it wasn't
anything.
sparked by y'all. It was
I was
sparked
gonna say
by
nothing in
myself.
group chat about it, and then suddenly I hear, "Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum,
I was
ba-da-dum."
typing like a madman. I think I was voice typing.
It looked like you.
I was sitting there. I was sitting there. McKenna's like across the room. And I'm like, you stupid idiots! Don't even. I'm like whispering in my phone.
So, alrighty. Well, I think that's just about going to do it for the Tri-Oval office this week. We'll be back with you at some point later this week for a Texas preview and to catch up on a lot of news. There's a lot of news this week, but we'll catch up with you then. But for Grant, I'm Cayden. This has been the Tri-Oval office, and we'll catch you next time.